Have you ever found yourself trapped in a storm of negative thoughts, replaying mistakes over and over, feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders? It's a familiar feeling, a creeping doubt, a nagging worrying that seems to take over your mind and your energy. At first, it feels like just a passing frustration, but before you know it, it becomes a cycle, a habit, and soon it starts shaping how you see yourself and everything around you. But what if I told you that this cycle doesn't have to control you? What if you could break free negative thinking? It's something we've all experienced, right? The endless loop of self-criticism, the constant replay of past mistakes, the anxiety that clouds your thoughts. It's like an unwelcome guest that refuses to leave, draining your energy and twisting your perception of reality. But what if you had the power to take back control of your mind? To shift your thoughts and free yourself from the prison of negativity? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. This isn't about ignoring your struggles or pretending everything is perfect. It's about understanding the way your mind works and learning to manage it so you can break free from that negative cycle. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophy, we'll explore how to take control of your thoughts, align them with your values, and build a mindset that empowers you. Are you ready to break the cycle and reclaim your power? Let's get started. The power of breaking free from negative thinking. We've all been there, caught in the web of negative thinking. The creeping doubts, the constant worries, the replaying of past mistakes in your mind. It's like an unwelcome guest that settles in, takes over your thoughts, and slowly drains your energy. At first, it seems harmless, a moment of frustration or self-criticism. But before you know it, it becomes a habit, a cycle that's hard to break. The worst part, it starts shaping how you see yourself, your life, and the world around you. But what if I told you that negative thinking doesn't have to control you? What if, with the right tools and mindset, you could break free from that cycle and take back the power over your mind? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophy, we're not here to force positivity or pretend that life's struggles don't exist. Instead, we're focusing on understanding how your thoughts work, learning to manage them, and building a mindset that empowers you rather than holding you back. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is at the heart of Stoic philosophy, the recognition that while we can't always control what happens around us, we can control how we perceive it, how we think about it, and how we respond to it. And that's where true freedom lies. In today's episode, we'll explore practical strategies to break the hold of negative thinking. Together, we'll uncover how to shift your perspective, reframe challenges, and create habits that foster resilience and clarity. But these aren't abstract ideas, they're actionable steps that you can start using today to transform your mindset and your life. So, if you've ever felt weighed down by doubt, fear, or frustration, stay with me. This isn't just another talk about thinking positively. This is about taking control of your thoughts, aligning them with your values, and building a stronger, more focused version of yourself. MCC Hun. Let's start this journey toward clarity, strength, and freedom together. Let's learn how to kill negative thinking and reclaim the power over your mind. Lesson 1. The power of controlling your perceptions. Negative thinking often starts with how we perceive the world. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, it's how we interpret them. This simple misunderstanding is the root cause of why so many of us feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or defeated in our daily lives. Think about it. When something goes wrong, like receiving criticism or facing an unexpected challenge, our immediate reaction is often to create a negative story about the situation. These stories don't solve the problem. They only amplify it, making it feel worse than it really is. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, understood this deeply when he said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this, you have the power to revoke at any moment." In simpler terms, it's not what happens to you that causes distress, it's how you think about it. Your perceptions act as the lens through which you view the world, and when that lens is clouded by negativity, even minor challenges can feel insurmountable. Let's consider an example. Imagine a coworker criticizes your work. Your first instinct might be to think, "I'm terrible at this, I'll never succeed." But is that really the truth? Or is it just your perception of the situation? What if, instead, you viewed that feedback as an opportunity to improve and grow? The event, the criticism, doesn't change, but your perspective does. And with that shift in perspective, your emotional response changes too. The problem with distorted perceptions is that they take root quickly. Over time, these negative thought patterns shape how you view yourself, your relationships, and the world around you. Left unchecked, they become ingrained habits that limit your potential. But the good news is that once you understand this, you realize you have the power to change how you respond to these situations. You are no longer a passive observer of your thoughts, you are in control. For example, when you face a challenge or experience something uncomfortable, the first step is to pause and ask yourself, is this perception serving me, or is it holding me back? By becoming aware of your automatic reactions, you can choose to shift your perspective before it spirals into negativity. This is where true empowerment lies. The ability to control your perceptions is not a quick fix. It's a skill that takes time and practice, but once you develop it, you can start to see the world through a clearer, more empowering lens. It's like cleaning a foggy window. When the fog lifts, you can see the world around you more clearly, and you're better equipped to respond in a way that benefits you. Lesson 2. Unraveling the roots of negative thinking. Negative thinking is more than just an annoying habit. It's often a deeply ingrained pattern, one that develops over time and becomes hard to break. These thought patterns don't appear out of nowhere, they have roots that stretch back to specific experiences and influences in your life. These roots might stem from your upbringing, past experiences, societal pressures, or even fears that you've internalized over the years. To truly overcome negative thinking, it's crucial to understand where it originates and why it continues to exert so much power over you. The good news is, once you uncover where these thoughts come from, you'll have the tools to challenge and change them. Think about it for a moment. Negative thoughts often arise as a form of self-protection. Have you ever faced criticism, rejection, or failure in your past? If you have, your mind may have created patterns of negativity to prepare for the worst or to shield you from further pain. This might feel like a safety mechanism, a way to guard yourself against future disappointment. However, the reality is, this pattern doesn't protect you, it keeps you stuck. It prevents you from growing, taking risks, or truly seeing life for what it is. Instead of moving forward, you remain trapped by the fears of past experiences. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, beautifully captured this truth when he said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, the more you allow negative thinking to dominate, the more it colors your view of life. If your mind is constantly filled with thoughts of fear, failure, or doubt, that will become your reality. You'll start to see the world through a lens of limitation and hesitation. But here's the key. Those negative thoughts are not your destiny, they're just patterns you've learned, and they can be unlearned. Let's break this down with a simple example. Imagine you're about to take on a new challenge. Maybe you're giving a presentation at work or speaking in front of an audience. Suddenly, a voice in your head says, "You'll mess this up. Everyone will judge you." Where is that voice coming from? Is it grounded in the reality of the present moment, or is it simply a lingering echo from your past? Maybe you stumbled in a presentation before, and your mind clings to that failure, replaying it like a warning. But the truth is, those past experiences don't define your present, nor do they dictate your future. Recognizing this is the first step toward breaking free from these ingrained thought patterns. So, how do you begin to unravel these roots of negativity? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to when negative thoughts arise and take a moment to trace them back to their source. Ask yourself, where did this thought come from? Is it based on facts, or is it just an old story I've been telling myself for years? Often, you'll find that these negative thoughts are not rooted in reality, and all their assumptions, fears, or old beliefs that no longer serve you. Once you've identified the root of the negative thought, it's time to challenge it. For example, if you're afraid of failure, remind yourself of the times when you succeeded despite your fears. Think back to those moments where you were able to push past your doubts and achieve something meaningful. If your thoughts are rooted in self-doubt, ask yourself, what evidence do I have that proves this thought wrong? More often than not, you'll find that the negative thoughts are built on assumptions, not facts. The next step is to reframe these thoughts. When you start to challenge the source of your negativity, you create a new relationship with your thoughts. Instead of letting them control you, you begin to empower yourself to change them. Reframing your thoughts is about shifting your perspective from seeing obstacles as insurmountable to viewing them as opportunities for growth. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never be good enough," try thinking, "I am learning and improving with each experience." This shift in thinking might feel small at first, but over time, it will create a powerful change in how you approach challenges and setbacks. Lesson 3. Reruling your mind. Negative thinking is like an old script that plays on repeat in your mind. Over time, these thoughts become so familiar that they feel like the only reality, even when they're far from the truth. But here's the good news: your mind is incredibly adaptable. Just as it learned these negative patterns, it can also unlearn them and adopt new, empowering ones. This process of replacing harmful thoughts with positive ones is what it truly means to renew your mind. Renewing your mind begins with understanding that you don't have to accept every thought that crosses your mind. Just because a thought appears doesn't mean it's true, helpful, or even worth your attention. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this power, saying, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In other words, what you allow yourself to dwell on shapes your experience of life. So why is this so important? Negative thoughts don't just make you feel bad in the moment, they limit your potential. Imagine constantly telling yourself, "I can't do this," or "I'll fail no matter what I try." These beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies, holding you back before you even begin. Renewing your mind means breaking free from these mental constraints and giving yourself the chance to truly thrive. But how do you actually go about renewing your mind? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts throughout the day. Notice when a negative pattern begins to emerge. For example, if you make a mistake, does your mind immediately jump to self-criticism? Do you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up"? Catching these moments is the foundation of change. Once you become aware of these negative thoughts, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Is there evidence to support this? Or am I just assuming the worst? Most of the time, you'll find that negative thoughts are based on fear, not fact. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try reframing it as, "I'm learning, and every step I take brings me closer to success." This shift in mindset is a powerful tool for renewing your mind. Another effective tool for renewing your mind is reframing. This means shifting your perspective to see challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than obstacles to your success. Let's say you face rejection for a job, a project, or a personal goal. Instead of thinking, "This proves I'm not good enough," reframe it as, "This is a chance to reflect, improve, and try again with greater clarity. Reframing doesn't change what happened, but it changes how you feel and how you move forward. Finally, gratitude is an excellent practice for renewing your mind. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. In moments of doubt or frustration, ask yourself, what can I be grateful for today? This simple practice helps you reframe your thinking and refocus on the positives, giving you a renewed sense of energy and perspective. As you continue to explore these methods of renewing your mind, you'll begin to see how easily you can take control of your thoughts. By practicing awareness, reframing, and gratitude, you can break free from the cycle of negativity that's been holding you back. This shift will not only help you grow stronger, but also more resilient in the face of life's challenges. In the next section, we'll explore how to build long-term habits that support mental resilience and emotional clarity. Are you ready to dive into the next phase of your transformation? Let's move forward together. Building on the idea of renewing your mind through positive thinking, let's now look at how you can surround yourself with positivity to reinforce your mental and emotional growth. Lesson 4. Surrounding yourself with positivity. The environment you surround yourself with has a powerful influence on your thoughts, emotions, and overall mindset. Think about it when you're around supportive, uplifting people or in a space that inspires calm and focus. You naturally feel more positive and motivated. On the other hand, if your environment is full of negativity, whether it's constant criticism, toxic relationships, or overwhelming distractions, it's much harder to maintain a healthy mental state. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. While your mindset is ultimately your responsibility, the spaces and people you choose to engage with either help or hinder that effort." Negativity can be contagious, but so can positivity. The key is to intentionally curate an environment that nurtures growth and resilience. Start by taking a closer look at the people in your life. Are they encouraging, understanding, and supportive, or do they often criticize, discourage, or drain your energy? This isn't about blaming others, but recognizing the impact they have on your mental and emotional well-being. Surrounding yourself with positive influences doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means prioritizing relationships that uplift you and setting boundaries with those that don't. For example, if you have a friend who constantly complains or brings you down, consider limiting how much time you spend with them. Instead, invest more energy into relationships with people who challenge you to grow, celebrate your successes, and help you see the best in yourself and life. Your physical environment matters too. A cluttered or chaotic space can contribute to stress and mental fog, while a clean, organized, and welcoming space fosters calm and clarity. Think about the spaces where you spend most of your time: your home, your workplace, even your digital spaces. Are they helping you feel motivated and focused, or do they add to your stress? Small changes like decluttering your desk, adding a plant to your room, or limiting your exposure to negative content online can make a big difference. And let's not forget the power of what you consume. The books you read, the shows you watch, and the podcasts you listen to, all of these shape your mindset. If you're constantly feeding your mind with fear, conflict, or negativity, it will reflect in your thoughts. Instead, choose content that inspires, educates, or uplifts you. Fill your mind with stories of resilience, ideas that challenge you to think deeply, and messages that reinforce the mindset you want to build. Here's a practical example. Imagine you've been spending a lot of time watching shows or listening to podcasts filled with drama and conflict. Over time, you notice you start feeling more stressed, more anxious, or more focused on the negative aspects of life. Now, imagine switching to content that is uplifting, whether it's an inspiring podcast, a book on personal growth, or a show that fills you with hope and optimism. You'll start to notice a shift in your mindset and how you approach challenges in your life. As you begin to curate a more positive environment, you'll notice the difference it makes in your thoughts and actions. Surrounding yourself with positivity is one of the most effective ways to build the mental and emotional strength necessary to overcome negative thinking. In the next section, we'll dive into more practical strategies that will help you reinforce this positive environment and continue the journey of transforming your mindset. Are you ready to take the next step? Let's move forward together. Building on the idea of curating your environment for positivity, let's now explore how taking action can disrupt negative thinking and propel you toward growth. Lesson 5. Taking Stoic action. Negative thinking often thrives when we sit idle, allowing our minds to replay fears, doubts, and past mistakes. It's like being stuck in an endless loop, where the more we dwell on negative thoughts, the harder it becomes to break free. But one of the most powerful ways to disrupt this cycle is to take deliberate, purposeful action. Action shifts your focus from worrying about what could go wrong to working on what you can make right. Marcus Aurelius understood this well when he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." B1. Stoicism emphasizes that clarity and peace of mind come not from endless analysis, but from aligning your actions with your values. When you take intentional steps toward growth, negativity has less space to take hold. So, what does Stoic action look like? It starts with focusing on what's within your control. Many negative thoughts stem from obsessing over things you can't change: other people's opinions, past mistakes, or unpredictable outcomes. Instead of getting stuck in that mental loop, direct your energy toward actions that matter. For example, if you're worried about an upcoming exam, rather than fretting about the result, focus on preparing as best as you can. By taking action, you shift from being a passive observer to an active participant in your life. Action also builds momentum. Imagine standing at the bottom of a steep hill, unsure how to start climbing. The longer you stand there, the more overwhelming the hill seems. But the moment you take the first step, no matter how small, the task begins to feel more manageable. Each step reinforces your ability to keep moving forward. Let's take a practical example. Suppose you've been procrastinating on a project because you're worried it won't turn out perfectly. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to start, break the task into smaller, actionable steps. Write one sentence, organize your ideas, or set a timer for just 10 minutes of work. These small actions not only help you make progress but also quiet the negative thoughts that tell you you're not capable. Another key aspect of Stoic action is aligning what you do with your core values. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? How can my actions reflect those priorities? When your actions are driven by purpose rather than fear, you naturally build resilience and confidence. For example, if kindness is one of your values, focus on acts of kindness in moments of doubt. Helping someone else can be a powerful antidote to feeling stuck in your own head. By practicing intentional actions that reflect your values, you build a sense of purpose that propels you forward, counteracting negative thinking. The next time you feel trapped in negative thoughts, pause and ask yourself, what small action can I take right now to shift this energy? By consistently taking action aligned with your values, you create a powerful momentum that not only transforms your mindset, but also drives you toward the best version of yourself. As we continue on this journey, we'll explore how gratitude and self-reflection play a crucial role in reshaping your mindset and further empowering your ability to take control of your thoughts. Let's dive deeper into cultivating a mindset of growth. As we've seen, taking action is a key strategy in breaking free from the grip of negativity. But once you begin taking those steps forward, how do you ensure that your thoughts and language don't drag you back? Lesson 6. The power of words. The words you use, both in your internal dialogue and in your conversations with others, carry immense power. They shape how you see yourself, how you approach challenges, and how you interact with the world around you. When negative thoughts dominate your language, they reinforce doubt and fear, creating a self-fulfilling cycle. Then, however, when you intentionally choose words that uplift and empower you, you set the tone for resilience and growth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. This concept applies not only to what you think but also to how you express those thoughts. Words are not just descriptions of how you feel. They are tools that can transform your reality. And MCC Hun. By being mindful of the language you use, you can break free from negativity and create a mindset that supports your goals. Let's begin with your inner dialogue, that quiet, constant stream of thoughts running through your mind. When something goes wrong, do you find yourself saying things like, "I'm such a failure," or "I'll never get this right"? These phrases may seem small, but over time, they reinforce a negative self-image that can be hard to shake. Instead, consider reframing them. Then, for example, if you make a mistake, shift from "I'm terrible at this" to "I'm learning," and mistakes are part of the process. This small change not only softens the blow but also redirects your focus toward growth. Now, think about the words you use when talking to others. Complaining, gossiping, or focusing on the negative can create a cloud of negativity that affects not only you but also those around you. And MCC Hun. On the other hand, speaking with kindness, gratitude, and optimism can elevate your mood and strengthen your connections with others. For instance, instead of saying, "I'm so stressed, I'll never finish this," try saying, "This is challenging, but I'm making progress." The shift may feel subtle, but it has a profound impact on your mindset. Here's an example. Imagine you've had a rough day at work, and your first instinct is to vent about everything that went wrong. While it's okay to acknowledge your feelings, dwelling on them in negative language only deepens the frustration. Instead, try expressing what you learned or how you plan to move forward. For instance, say, "Today was tough, but it showed me where I can improve." This approach doesn't deny the difficulty. It reframes it in a way that promotes resilience. One powerful way to harness the power of words is through affirmations. By consciously choosing words that reinforce your self-worth and confidence, you can begin to reshape how you think about yourself and the world around you. Affirmations are not about ignoring challenges but about reaffirming your capacity to face them with strength and purpose. As we continue, we'll dive deeper into the practice of affirmations and explore how to integrate them into your daily routine for even more powerful results. Stay with me as we unlock this transformative tool for creating a mindset of growth, confidence, and resilience. As we continue, we've already seen how powerful words can be in shaping our mindset and actions. Now, let's explore how to develop emotional resilience, a key trait that allows you to overcome life's challenges with grace and strength. Lesson 7. Cultivating emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much you plan or prepare, challenges, setbacks, and disappointments are inevitable. We all face them, those moments when things just don't go as planned, when life throws a curveball, and everything seems to fall apart. But here's the real question. How will you respond when these challenges arise? Then emotional resilience is your ability to recover, adapt, and even thrive in the face of adversity. It's one of the most powerful tools you can develop to shift your mindset from negativity to empowerment. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, understood this concept deeply. He once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. In MCC Hun. This simple yet profound truth lies at the core of emotional resilience. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or pretending everything is fine. It's not about resisting life's challenges, but about choosing how you respond when things don't go as planned. It's about staying grounded no matter how chaotic the world around you becomes, knowing that you have the strength to weather the storm. So, What does emotional resilience look like in action? It starts with acceptance, the acceptance that some things are simply beyond your control. When you resist this reality, you waste precious energy fighting against things you can't change. This only amplifies frustration, making it harder to move forward. Resilience, however, is about redirecting that energy toward the things you can control: your thoughts, actions, and attitude. Imagine this: you've been working hard on a project, pouring your heart and soul into it, only for something to go wrong at the last minute. Maybe the proposal gets rejected, or an unexpected obstacle appears. Instead of spiraling into blame or self-pity, a resilient mindset steps in and asks, "What's my next best step?" This shift from dwelling on the problem to focusing on the solution is the essence of emotional resilience. It's about learning how to move forward, no matter the setbacks. The setback doesn't define you, how you respond does. Another critical element of resilience is reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth. Instead of viewing failure as an endpoint, start seeing it as a lesson, a stepping stone toward improvement. Think about a time when you faced disappointment. Perhaps you didn't get the promotion you were hoping for. It's natural to feel upset, but rather than letting that disappointment take over, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to come back stronger? Every challenge is a chance to build resilience, to learn, and to grow. Resilience is not just about surviving difficulties. It's about turning them into a foundation for greater strength. Self-compassion is another crucial part of emotional resilience. When you're hard on yourself, it becomes much harder to bounce back. Think about how you would treat a friend who's struggling. You wouldn't tell them they've failed or that they're not good enough. Instead, you'd offer encouragement, remind them of their strengths, and gently guide them forward. So, why not offer yourself the same kindness? Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend in need. By practicing self-compassion, reframing challenges, and taking proactive steps forward, you begin to build a mindset that thrives on resilience. Emotional resilience doesn't just help you bounce back from difficult situations, it helps you bounce forward, becoming stronger with each challenge you face. Next time you face adversity, pause and ask yourself, how can I grow from this? It's time to take the next step in your journey toward greater emotional strength. We'll continue to uncover more strategies to help you stay resilient and positive, no matter what life throws your way. Lesson 8. Practicing gratitude as a mindset shift. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools to combat negativity. When life feels overwhelming or unfair, it's easy to focus on what's missing, what's going wrong, or what could be better. But gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of dwelling on the negatives, it redirects your attention to what's already good in your life, no matter how small. Marcus Aurelius once wisely said, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave them if they were not yours." This wisdom reminds us that much of our unhappiness comes from taking what we have for granted while chasing what we don't have. Gratitude invites us to stop, take a step back, and appreciate what we already possess. So, what does practicing gratitude look like in daily life? It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about finding moments of appreciation, even amidst difficulties. For example, if you're facing a tough day at work, gratitude might mean pausing to appreciate a kind colleague, the opportunity to learn something new, or simply the fact that you got through a challenging task. In this way, gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. The power of gratitude lies in its ability to shift your focus. When you actively look for things to be thankful for, you train your mind to notice the positives. Over time, this rewires your brain to default to a more optimistic and balanced outlook. It's like a lens that filters out the negativity, allowing you to see the world in a brighter, clearer way. Here's a practical way to start. Keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big or profound. Small moments count just as much. Maybe it's the warmth of your morning coffee, a smile from a stranger, or the fact that you made it through a challenging moment. Writing these down not only helps you reflect, but also creates a record of positivity that you can revisit when negativity creeps in. Another approach is to express gratitude to others. Take a moment to thank someone, a friend, family member, or even a coworker for something they've done. It could be as simple as saying, "I really appreciate how you helped me with that." These small acts of appreciation not only lift others but also reinforce your own sense of gratitude. As we continue, you'll notice how cultivating gratitude doesn't just shift your mindset, it also fosters stronger, more meaningful connections with those around you. Next, let's explore how emotional resilience and gratitude work together to help you maintain balance, even in the most challenging times. Building on the power of gratitude and its ability to shift your mindset, let's now move into an equally transformative idea: embracing impermanence. Lesson 9. Embracing impermanence. One of the most significant causes of negative thinking is our resistance to change. We often cling to the idea that things should remain the same: our comfort zones, relationships, or even our daily routines. But, as life constantly reminds us, nothing is permanent. And here's the good news: embracing the truth of impermanence can free you from much of the stress, fear, and negativity that come with resisting change. The concept of impermanence is a central theme in Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "All things pass away." What we do in life, how we react, and the decisions we make, that's what remains ours. This insight teaches us that while external circumstances shift, it is how we respond that defines our experience. Now, imagine how often we dwell on the past, wishing things could have stayed the way they were, or fear the future, imagining what we might lose. This attachment to what was, or what might be, traps us in cycles of negativity. By embracing impermanence, we give ourselves the freedom to live fully in the present. It's like watching a flower bloom. Its beauty is fleeting, but it's precisely that temporality that makes it precious. Similarly, life, the joy, the challenges, and the people we meet is temporary. And that's what makes it so incredibly valuable. Here's how embracing impermanence can transform your mindset. When something difficult happens, remind yourself, this too shall pass. Pain, frustration, and setbacks are temporary. Just as joy doesn't last forever, neither do hardships. This perspective offers peace during tough times because it reminds you that nothing is permanent. Let's take a practical example. Imagine you've had a falling out with a close friend. The situation feels painful and overwhelming. But by embracing impermanence, you can remind yourself that this moment of conflict is not forever. Relationships evolve, feelings change, and with time, healing becomes possible, whether that means reconciling or simply moving forward separately. Another way to practice embracing impermanence is by reflecting on how fleeting and precious life truly is. Rather than clinging to expectations or past outcomes, you can begin to see life's challenges as part of an ongoing cycle of growth. Change becomes not a threat, but an opportunity, a chance to transform and evolve into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. As we continue, remember, embracing impermanence doesn't mean giving up, it means adapting, moving forward, and welcoming each new phase of life with open arms. And this attitude will serve as a foundation for your emotional strength in the face of uncertainty. Let's now explore how cultivating resilience in the face of change can empower you even further. Continuing from where we left off, embracing impermanence isn't just about accepting change, but about letting go of the need to control every moment. Now, let's dive deeper into the power of building a purpose-driven life. Lesson 10. Building a purpose-driven life. At the core of much negativity often lies a lack of direction. Without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to feel lost, unmotivated, or overwhelmed by the hurdles life throws at you. Purpose acts as a compass guiding your thoughts, actions, and decisions. It's what gives your life meaning, helps you navigate tough times, and prevents negativity from taking root in your mind. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "People who labor all their lives but have no purpose to direct every thought and impulse are wasting their time, even when hard at work." This powerful reminder highlights that simply staying busy or chasing external goals isn't enough. Without a deeper purpose, even the most successful achievements can feel hollow. Purpose isn't just about what you achieve, it's about aligning your actions with your core values and the things that truly matter to you. So, how do you discover and build a purpose-driven life? It starts with self-reflection. Ask yourself some key questions. What gives me a sense of fulfillment? What impact do I want to have on others or the world? What aligns with my core values and strengths? Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It could be as simple as being a supportive friend, creating meaningful art, or focusing on personal growth every single day. What matters most is that it resonates with you and gives your life clear direction. Having a purpose doesn't mean life will be free of challenges. In fact, the opposite is often true. A purpose-driven life frequently involves facing obstacles head-on. But when you're grounded in purpose, these challenges feel less daunting. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, you begin to view them as opportunities for growth and a chance to reaffirm what truly matters to you. Let's say you're working toward a goal like building a business, pursuing a creative passion, or improving your health. Obstacles and doubts will inevitably arise along the way. But if you're clear on why you're doing it, whether it's to provide for your family, express yourself, or feel stronger and more confident, you'll find the motivation to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Your purpose becomes the fuel that keeps you moving forward. Purpose also plays a critical role in helping you filter out distractions. When you're clear on your values and priorities, it becomes much easier to say no to things that don't serve you. For instance, if your purpose is to cultivate meaningful relationships, you might find yourself spending less time scrolling through social media and more time connecting with loved ones in person. Your focus shifts from external validation to the internal satisfaction that comes from living authentically and in alignment with your values. By living with purpose, you create a life rooted in meaning. Even the most challenging moments can be seen as part of a larger journey, one that aligns with your deepest desires and values. When your life has a purpose, setbacks become stepping stones, and difficulties become opportunities for deeper growth and understanding. Lesson 11. Building a purpose-driven life. Living with purpose is about intentional growth. It's about prioritizing learning, self-reflection, and striving to become the best version of yourself. One of the most powerful aspects of living with purpose is how it shifts your relationship with negativity. Instead of seeing setbacks as roadblocks, you learn to view them as part of the journey. Then, for example, imagine you're working toward a fitness goal, but you miss a workout. It's easy to fall into a spiral of self-criticism, thinking, "I've ruined my progress." But with a purpose-driven mindset, you can choose to remind yourself, one misstep doesn't define the bigger picture. Purpose gives you the perspective to keep moving forward, to keep striving for your goals, no matter the bumps along the way. In MCC Hun, think of purpose as a lighthouse in the stormy seas of life. No matter how rough the waters get, the steady light of purpose guides you back to course. Even when negativity threatens to cloud your judgment, your purpose cuts through the fog, reminding you of what's truly important. Purpose helps you see challenges not as insurmountable walls, but as opportunities to learn and grow. To build a purpose-driven life, start small. Reflect on your values, set meaningful goals, and align your daily actions with a bigger vision. Remember, Purpose isn't a destination, it's a practice. It evolves with you as you grow, and that's part of its beauty. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by negativity or unsure of your path, pause and ask yourself, what truly matters to me? How can I align my actions with that purpose? By focusing on your purpose, you not only quiet the noise of doubt and fear, but you create a life that feels rich, meaningful, and uniquely yours. In that, you'll find the clarity and strength to rise above any challenge life throws your way. Negative thinking doesn't have to define you. It's not an inevitable part of life, it's simply a habit, a pattern that you have the power to change. By understanding your perceptions, identifying the roots of negativity and practicing strategies like gratitude, resilience, and purpose-driven action, you can transform the way you think and reclaim your peace of mind. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless wisdom serves as a guiding light. No matter what challenges you face, you have the ability to choose your response. You have the strength to break free from negativity and build a life aligned with clarity, purpose, and growth. As you move forward, I encourage you to reflect on what resonated with you most in this episode. What small change can you start implementing today? Whether it's pausing to reframe a negative thought, practicing gratitude, or setting boundaries to protect your energy, remember, every step counts. The journey to mastering your mind is not about perfection. It's about progress. If this episode spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. Let's spread the power of breaking free from negativity and building stronger, more resilient minds. And if you've made it this far, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thought or lesson from today that you're taking with you? Drop it in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, the power to change your thoughts and your life is already within you. Until next time, stay mindful, stay intentional, and most importantly, stay focused on building the best version of yourself. You've got this.